When you went to Full House, was there a period of time between Out of Control and Full House, or did you just go right from one to the other?
There was, yeah. In fact, I went on the road and, because I thought, well, I guess I'm going to be a comic until, so I did some, I guested on Newhart and Family Ties and did a Cheech and Chong movie called Things Are Tough All Over. So there were little jobs here and there. And then I auditioned for SNL and did my screen test at NBC. And Brad Gray called me and he said, I just talked to Lauren, Dave, and he says it's going to be great having Dave with us in New York this year as a featured player. And so, I was going to New York to be on Saturday Night Live, and so I told everybody in my life, of course, all the comics knew it, like, wow, you're going to New York, you're on SNL, and I'm like, yeah, can you believe it? Told everybody I knew, my family, boxed up everything in my apartment. And then 10 days go by and I don't hear anything. And I'm trying to find an apartment in New York and I'm ready to go. And then I get a call from Brad and he says, listen, I got some bad news. I'm like, what could be bad? I didn't find an apartment. And he says, no, you're not going. And I said, why? And he said, because I just talked to Brandon Tartikoff and Brandon thinks you and Dana Carvey are too similar. So I had to call everybody in my life and say, I'm not going. I wasn't lying. I really was going. And I luckily got my apartment back, unpacked everything. And then about a year later, I got the Full House script.
Was that year before you got Full House, when Dana Carvey was on SNL, were you just grinding your teeth every time he was on?
Dana. No, I love comics. If somebody's successful, I'm so happy for them because it's so tough what we do.
Yeah.
That I'm happy when a comic is exploding, because I know how much work that is. And I know how hard Dana worked because we would cross each other at the clubs all the time. And so I was happy for him. I was just thinking, wow, I am such a loser. Like, what's next? And then I was, given that script for Full House and boom. And then I got it. And I thought, well, why was that so easy?
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take you to recover from something like that? Because, I've been shot down for a lot of things, but never something like where you had it and then it was just taken. I typically won't tell people I'm doing anything until I'm into it for at least a year. Right. Because it's so scary to have that happen because it does happen.
It does happen. It does happen all the time, I was, thank goodness I was busy. I was busy with, Muppet Babies and Real Ghostbusters. And so I had jobs, and doing stand-up. So that kept me busy. But you never really shake something like that off. You're always thinking, what? But had I gone to New York that year, I would have never been on Full House.
Right.
So, and I heard it was a miserable season.
What season was it?
It would have been 86.
Or what year? Yeah.
86, because I started Full House in 87. So whatever year that was, I remember talking to some people and they're like, oh man, it was tough.
Eddie was gone by then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.